On the 23rd of August last year, that's 2017, the National Environment Management Authority put a ban on the use of carrier bags. It is a ban that caused a lot of uproar, not only from Kenyans, but also from manufacturers who claim that several Kenyans will lose their jobs. Now, this morning, I just to talk about the ban on plastic bags, how successful it has been for the last 1 year. And in our studio this morning, we have Salome Machua, who is the Deputy Director of Enforcement in NEMA, just to try and enlighten us on how successful the ban on plastic bag has been, the challenges they're facing, and probably how many people have been arrested and taken to court because of flouting this ban that was put last year. Salome, how successful has this been for the last 1 year?
Thank you, Brenda. It has been successful. I would say that it's one of the laws that we've put as NEMA that we've seen a lot of success, of course not without challenges. We did an evaluation, a monitoring and evaluation on how people have complied 6 months down the line, and we found that success rate was about 85% compliant, and especially on manufacturers. We had almost completely eliminated any manufacturer of the banned plastics. That is the carrier bags and the flat bags. And
when you talk about the flat bags, are these
yes,
bags that are used to package maybe chopped vegetables and boiled githeri that people buy along the road?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is the flat bags. The mamambogas, the jwalas we used to call them. You pack githeri, you pack skuma wiki, that is cut meat. Those are the flat bags. The carrier bags are the ones that were normally green, yellow, black. The one you would go to a market and you're given. And the supermarkets, especially those ones, we would say it's almost 100%. Supermarkets, 100%. Marketplaces for the carrier bags, 100%. What is the 14% that is still remaining is the flat bags, the small, the flimsy ones. Okay. The one that are... Which
still continues to be a challenge. And in fact, I was about to ask you, because still in some areas within the neighborhood, you'd go to Mama Mboga and they'll still package for you the chopped vegetables using that plastic bag. Yeah. So does it mean there's still some... Clearly it means there's some manufacturers who are still making this bag. So have you been able to support some of these manufacturing companies?
After the ban, maybe the first few months, people bought in bulk. They knew that this ban is coming. So our inspectors, when they go to the market, especially the markets where the mama bogas are, they'll say, "Apana, hii ni stock ya kitambo." This is the stock that we've been having. For manufacturers, we've capped, most of them are in Nairobi, a few in Mombasa, and we've actually made surveillance at night, and there's no manufacturing of the flat bags. So what we see in the market, the few that we are seeing in the market is an old stock, and also we are suspecting that our borders, our porous borders, some of the flat bags, those flimsy ones, are coming in.
So, but isn't it that not impunity, Salome? Because if these people give an excuse, this is a stock that we got before the ban was implemented, then you just let it go like that. Isn't that not impunity?
No, we don't let it go like that. We've been arresting them. Actually, then the greatest number of arrests that we've made is the mamambogas. Of course, when we arrest them, we want to find out, where are you getting it? So we are with you when you're telling us where you're getting it. And so we have a figure of over 300 people, especially the mamambogas, the young people who sell sugarcane, because those are the notorious ones, the impunity, as you say. So we are not leaving them. We are arresting them. We are prosecuting them. And some of them, they've not been able even to raise 10. They've been given maybe penalties, a fine of 10,000, 5,000, 30,000. And we are still cases pending in court. Some people are not able to raise even the 30,000. So that impunity is really costly on them. But we are saying that they must comply. So
if you're talking about figures of people who have been arrested, might you kindly give us a rough estimate of how many people have been presented in court since the ban was implemented?
Yes, I have that figure. We have about around 5 people, big manufacturers that already arraigned in court and cases determined, and others still pending. We have over about 78 distributors and distributors and stockists that are already in court. And for the small scale, we have 258. Yes, cases determined and others still pending.
Okay.
Yeah, across the country.
Okay. And when you talk about the porous borders, so what sort of enforcement have you put in place?
When we started, we had a discussion with the customs at our borders. The NEMA management visited all our borders, and we agreed with the customs that they should be looking at what is coming in. And they got a letter from their commissioner to actually ensure that that is enforced. But they normally say it's either some people will come hide, because they are very thin, they will hide them inside their suitcases, they'll tie them with clothes. Sometimes when you go to the border, and our inspectors have also been going to the borders, and you can imagine where they'll be hiding them. So it's, of course, a challenge to get each and every person coming into our country checked. But we are trying. I would say that the customs department around our borders is really keen. But our appeal as the authority and as a nation is that we are hoping other countries, our neighboring country, can also ban this. And we are very grateful Uganda did the ban, I think in May. So it's going to actually reduce the number of papers coming into our country.
So that, from your explanation, Mashua, then it means so many people have been arrested at the border points.
At the border point, yes, we had a few arrests at Busia border. But again, and Lunga also. I may not have the actual figures, but a few. But they are Kenyan traders who are going across
to get the plastic bags, and bring them into the country.
Bring them to the country. It's not the Ugandans coming; it's the Kenyan. So again, is the impunity which we are, as a country, we must stop. Yes.
Okay. So now NEMA decides to, it was a conversation for quite some time to put a ban on the use of carrier bags. And it came into enforcement on the 23rd of August last year. So far so good, we're celebrating 1 year. But there has been concern that NEMA has not yet, given manufacturers an alternative, because you've not yet put a ban actually on plastic bags that are being used to package food products. Talk about bread. Talk about detergents. We're still seeing the use of plastic bags. And so that means when it's disposed of, clearly we'll still have the same thing, dirt. Yeah.
So for those, we are calling them primary industrial packaging, and they have to have a clearance. They apply for clearance, and we look at there's a criteria. There are some that we could not ban completely because of the hygiene. You don't want to transport bread with some papers that are not hygiene, otherwise will be causing a public outcry. The ones we want to stop the health of the people. So we are working with the bread sector to move from the normal plastic to something else that can still be hygienically sound and not pollute the environment. As we give the clearance to those industrial packaging, we also asking them for a take-back scheme. Are you in touch with a recycler, so that the bread, the sugar that is packaged on those plastic that are already banned, they are labeled well, so that I can actually see this is so and so's bread, and it's written there that please return to the sender, or return me back to a recycler. And we've been working with supermarkets that you can drop your bread wrapper back to the supermarket, or to especially the supermarket, and then the recyclers that we have licensed, they will come and pick. It's slowly picking, but our ultimate is that we can move to alternatives. And the inventory, I told you, we did an evaluation. We saw that people have alternative. We are at 86% alternative adoption. So there's some sectors, like you mentioned, bread. We are calling them the small scale kadogo economy. The crepes you buy, the jugu karangas. So we also don't want to creep the economy of our country, but we're saying we are going to move if you have alternative. I saw recently a very good biscuits being packaged in some very nice looking cups. So we've moved from the flimsy to something else. So alternatives are there. We are also creating employment to our youth so that it can be innovative, bring something that we can package, the jugukarangas, the crepes, the biscuits.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So we are talking to Salome Machua, the Deputy Director of Enforcement at NEMA, just trying to get the success story of the ban on plastic baggage in Kenya. Remember, the ban was implemented last year, August 23rd. So until today, it's of course 1 year. So it is a conversation that we'll continue having here. But first, let's take a short break, but we shall be right back with more when it comes to the ban on plastic bags in Kenya.